Well, this afternoon, former President Trump will be holding a press conference at 2 this afternoon to speak with reporters. The Trump campaign has been criticizing Vice President Harris for not facing questions from reporters since announcing her candidacy. Senator J.D. Vance trolled Vice President Harris by approaching Air Force Two to, quote, check out the plane. Both landed at the same airport in Wisconsin Wednesday. Reporters asked him what he was doing, and this was his response.
I just wanted to check out my future plane, but I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris why does she refuse to answer questions from the media? And I also thought that the press gaggle following her might get a little lonely. I at least have enough respect for you all and for the American people you report to come and talk to you.
Well, Harris's campaign responded to Vance approaching Air Force Two with one word. The campaign called it, quote, weird. NewsNation's Elizabeth Vargas spoke with Minneapolis's mayor to get his reaction to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as Harris's running mate. Here's some of what he had to say.
I'm really excited. I think the whole country is meeting Tim Walz now for the first time. And what they're seeing is a person of utmost integrity. I think Vice President Harris is repeatedly referring to him as a coach. And that's what people see in him. I mean, I don't know if you played soccer or track or whatever when you were younger, but if you think about your best buddy's dad cheering from the sidelines, that's kind of what Governor Walz has been for so many people.
Governor Walz is a gun owner and a hunter. The campaign is already touting what they call his, quote, Midwestern dad vibes, which you can see in this video that he posted of himself and his daughter at the state fair. Take a look.
But then we're going to go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
turkey's
then,
meat.
Not in Minnesota, turkey special.
Okay, I'd never get on that roller coaster, but is that the Governor Walz you think America needs to meet?
That is the Governor Walz that I know. That is the Governor Walz that I believe that everybody is meeting right now, perhaps for the first time. And I think when Vice President Harris refers to him as a coach, that's largely accurate, not just figuratively, but literally. I mean, he was a football coach. I believe he managed a cafeteria for quite a while, so he understands conflict and how to handle it. Yeah, he is someone that kind of has that, I don't know, call it Midwestern or Northern sensibility. He's got the kind of common sense that I think people are yearning for. And he's someone who brings people together.
All right. Well, we welcome now our panel. Political strategist and commentator Rina Shah. She's a former congressional aide. Also joining us is Dr. Nicolai Corte, host-in-chief, political analyst. This for a more perfect union on KBLA Talk, 1580 radio show and podcast. Also, the author of Kamala, The Motherland and Me. The book just came out last month. Congratulations. And thank you both for joining us. So, Doctor, I'd like to start with you. What do you make of this strategy from Trump to announce this press conference as Harris is now facing criticism over not taking questions?
I think former President Trump and Senator Vance have bigger fish to fry. Clearly, their campaign seems to be flailing. They seem to be grasping on for something. Look, as people learn more about Project 2020-25, they don't like it. They think that that's weird. They think that that is turning the clock back on so much progress that Americans cherish. And so they've got bigger problems. They're losing support among independents. We've seen Nikki Haley voters who were sort of in the wilderness. We've seen them begin to find a home with the Harris-Walz campaign. And so to be wandering off to Air Force Two, presuming that that will be your future plane, it does come off a little weird.
All right, Rina, what's your response?
It's been a day since we've learned that Governor Walz is now Kamala Harris's he's going to be the person that she probably trusts the most over this next 4 years, presumably. But more than that trusted advisor status, that running mate status, in this day, we have learned that Walz has a really phenomenal record legislatively. And I think that was a big reason why she picked him. She didn't need somebody much like herself, an attorney. And of course, she's accomplished many other things outside just just the law. Electorally, she's won at every level. But Walz presents this great contrast. And when you peel back again, what's beneath the surface and you see what he's accomplished, you see a moderate, actually. And I've been really surprised by how quickly that record has been able to make its way to the surface. So I think that J.D. Vance would be better served by starting to talk substance, starting to talk policy, where he differs from Walz and Harris, instead of chasing them around on this PR tour and taking what I would call sort of the media noise away from them, or attempting to. I think it makes him look really weak. I'm talking about J.D. Vance. I think it's a weak move to do that chase. I think he should be putting out videos and talking directly to the American public on a number of platforms about what he stands for, because we're learning that about Walz. And quite frankly, I think a lot of independents and centrists are turning their heads and liking it.
Well, I definitely want to get talking more about Walz and his policy in just a moment, Rina, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Dr. Corte, we just saw that snapshot of Walz as this Midwestern, fun, folksy father. A new Politico report says Republicans are now on the attack, and they're going after his record as governor. How much, in your view, does presentation versus substance factor in, especially at this hour of the election?
I think style and substance matters, but I also think if the past is prologue, people are looking for evidence to back up what it is that people are saying on the campaign trail. And, you know, as much as Republicans are trying to frame Governor Walz as some radical lefty, the facts just don't bear out. This is someone who is known as a consensus builder. This is someone even President Trump appointed to be on the bipartisan governor's council when he was president. And so was Governor Walz so radical when he was president that he would appoint him to this bipartisan
Doctor, I think we're having a little bit of
climate
issues.
change? We're not seeing a governor that is going way far to the left, seeing a governor that's together. And that's the kind of partner that I think Vice President Harris has been looking for.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. We had a little trouble with your audio there. We're going to try to fix that. Rina, you know, when you look at some of Walz's more controversial policies, some that have drilled down on, one that's been making a lot of headlines is when he made Minnesota a sanctuary state for children seeking gender surgical procedures. How will policies like that and others play in the undecided voter realm? I know you said that he's viewed more as a moderate when you dig into some of these issues, but some have people talking about the fact that this may turn the country a little bit more progressive than many voters are comfortable with.
Well, that very policy you indicated is certainly one of the ones that stands out to folks who are more right of center. And that's who this ticket is going to have to win over. The Harris-Walz ticket needs to get to those center-right voters and have them be crossovers. You know, I always think about the 80s when I think about those Reagan Democrats who gave the White House to the Gifford. And then I think about also in 2020, Biden Republicans like myself. I never voted for a Democrat for president, and I did for Biden. And so these crossover voters, we're going to have to do it again, and that is important because look, it's a bigger effort than just saying these are one or two policies that you might like. It's a feeling. And this election, though I am a policy wonk, I do think it's about people over policy. You know, everybody, when they come to the White House, presidents, historically speaking, do tend to come to the center. So while that was a policy that might have worked for Minnesota, which in my estimation is still very purple, and I have deep experience with Republicans in Minnesota. They've always had a centrist streak. They've always had an independent streak. If that is what the people of his state wanted at that time regarding gender-affirming care, then that's what he was doing as governor. Do I think he would do that kind of thing from the White House? I have no indication that he would. But again, I want to be very clear here. This is about people, not policy. To me, this election is about relatability and about likability. And I think Walz has really given a much needed boost to Harris, because let's not forget, she's been sitting in the VP perch for 4 years, and a great many independents I've seen over a vast amount of polling or focus groups have said they don't fully know what she stands for. And that's why in this tour she's doing, reacquainting herself with the American public, you do see a concerted effort by her to tell the American public what she stands for that's a bit different than what Biden stands for. And I think we'll see more of that as September approaches. So I think Walz again gives that nice boost because of who he is, not entirely policy by policy.
Well, certainly I'd love to go and talk more about policy with you both. Important conversations to have, but unfortunately we're out of time. Dr. Corte, Rina Shah, thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you, Kevin.